Welcome everybody to Intensity Broadcasting. My name is Josh Hall. This is the INSS Streeter Concrete Street Stock Series here on iRacing from New Hampshire Motor Speedway, getting ready for 50 laps of action plus heat races here on Intensity Broadcasting. We're glad to have you with us here tonight, whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, over on Twitch. Do appreciate you joining us here tonight. Don't forget to hit that like button, follow, and subscribe. So you know, anytime we go live here on Intensity Broadcasting, we are picking up some more races. So it'll be great to see you guys catching all the great action here on Intensity. But we have about 3 minutes left here in practice. So far, Caden Fisher is the fastest driver here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Here's a look at Justin Prescott, currently 11th quickest. And New Hampshire Motor Speedway, track that I know very, very well. Usually spend every summer here. So I know this track very, very well. One of my favorite tracks on the sim, being close to my home track. A very difficult track. You see the discoloration from the low side to the high side of the track. That is where the grip is. You want to kind of lean those right side tires in that dark asphalt, and that's where you can find the grip. Right down on the bottom is incredibly flat. Up against the wall, the banking is a little bit higher. It doesn't have progressive banking. You'll see these drivers kind of searching for grip with this new asphalt model that iRacing has released. So it's going to make for an interesting race as drivers are searching for the grip all race long. Let's take a look at our points coming into tonight. We see Jake Rout up currently at the top of the points. Casey Gaddy sits back in second. Logan Powers back in third. Aaron Raymond and that's Kelly Miller. Probably make this so I can actually see it a little bit better. There we go. Yeah, Kelly Miller back in fifth, and Jason Pelkey, Shane O'Neill, Steven Rockford, Chad White, and Caden Fisher round out your top 10. You can see where your top 15 are in the points currently. As we have about a minute and a half left here in practice before we get qualifying underway and some heat races. Oh, hard contact for Eric Steele. Weird place to hit that inside wall there, but another interesting thing about this racetrack is the fact that there is a road course here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway as well. People don't know about the road course here, they just know about the oval. And there's a transition where the road course meets the oval. That's got a little bit of a bump. You see this transition right there as they kind of cross over where the road course is right there. And that can make things interesting as well. Plus, off of turn number 2, there's a pretty big bump there as well, which can really unsettle the cars. So watch for a lot of action here, especially off of turn number 2. Big passing opportunities down into turn number 1. As this track is going to lend itself to a little bit of drafting because of how long it is. See Caden Fisher now getting some practice here with about 20 seconds left to go. First of all, we want to thank our great partner here at Streeter Concrete. Get a load of us. Find their information. The INS Street Stock Series is brought to you by Streeter Concrete of Waitsfield, Vermont. 802-793-6793. Get a load of us. Also here at Intensity Broadcasting, we've got our great partners, including Race EPI for all your iRacing setups and coaching needs. Visit raceepi.com to check out our website as well over at intensitybroadcasting.com for hats, t-shirts, coffee mugs, Intensity swag, as well as some Valley App Midwest gear as well. So you can check all that out over at intensitybroadcasting.com. We can't forget about our great partner over at Butt Kicker. Butt Kicker is a well-known and established leader in gaming haptics. The award-winning line of Butt Kicker products lets users feel low-frequency sounds. Their products are used and endorsed around the world by leading PC and console gamers, including professional sim racers. To check out the full line of Butt Kicker products and figure out what's right for you, visit thebuttkicker.com. As we see our first drivers making their way out onto the racetrack. Caden Fisher out on the racetrack. Just a few minutes of qualifying for these guys. You see really sliding the tires there, coming through turns 3 and 4. Cooper Bouchard, the first driver to take the green flag. Also Mark Baldwin coming down the backstretch as well. Will be the first driver down into turn number 3. So again, working right down on the bottom of the track, washes up the track just a little bit, gets back to the throttle for the long run down the front stretch towards turn number 1. Baldwin using that second lane as I was talking, kind of getting those right side tires right next to that change of asphalt where you can find the grip. Matt R. Smith just jumped up to the top of the leaderboard with a 34.39. As Baldwin comes through turns 3 and 4, down to the stripe. And he's going to stay currently in that 6th position. Here's Ty Delphia coming across the stripe. He's going to jump up into the 3rd spot. Caden Fisher currently 3rd fastest, so that practice lap may have been a little bit of draft, which again, we'll see a lot of drafting here tonight, making things interesting. There's Logan Powers. Just came across the stripe. He's going to slot himself up into the 5th position currently. Kelly Miller comes across the stripe. And I'm going to say in the 21st spot is Jason Pelkey. On his first lap goes top of the leaderboard with a 34.34. See if Pelkey can improve his time on the second lap. The stream is echoing really bad. Give me just a moment while I try to figure that out. Oh, you know what it is. Okay, I think I figured it out. I apologize for that. I actually had 2 microphones going on at once. I thought I shut one of them off, so I apologize for that. Tell me if that's any better. Again, I really do apologize for the echo there at the beginning. Let me know up in the chat if that sounds any better on your end as we watch Eric Steele. Yeah, sorry about that. So, just got a new headset, trying to work out the kinks on it here tonight, and I accidentally had 2 microphones running at once. So, again, I apologize for that. Totally my bad. Let's see if I can actually delete that out of here so that never happens again. So, Eric Steele comes across the stripe. He is going to be P4, and that is going to do it for qualifying as we got about 45 seconds left here in qualifying. Again, I really do apologize for that. Sometimes you got to work kinks out a little bit. So, but I do appreciate everybody sticking in there, letting me know in the chat, and glad I was able to get that fixed up. So as I was saying, we got about 20 seconds left. New Hampshire, very, very unique track. It's going to be a lot of fun watching these guys rip around this racetrack. Especially with the drafting that they'll be able to do. You usually think of drafting, you think of super speedways like Daytona, Talladega, and now Atlanta. With the street stocks, usually think of that Charlotte, Atlanta. But here at New Hampshire, even though it's got the slow corners, they're going to be able to get that launch off the corners and down those long straightaways, which is going to allow for some great drafting action. So watch for that here tonight as we take a look at our first grid. That's going to be Casey Beatty starting on pole with Eric Steele starting second. Caden Fisher and Ty Delphia, row 2. Ethan Tyrell, Joshua Baldwin back in row 3. Shane O'Neill and Chad White round out row 4. Your top 10 will be Joe Hogden and Kaysen Hogden. As 10 cars are going to start our first heat. Thank you, everybody, for bearing with me with the audio issues. I'm glad we were able to get that figured out, but here we go. Cars are out on the racetrack, trying to get their tires warmed up. And if you follow iRacing a little bit, but not on the service, we did have our major season update this past week. It came out on Wednesday, and one of the big things was the new asphalt model. So iRacing's been doing a lot of research and always changing things, trying to make it better and more realistic. And now we actually see heat buildup and more rubber buildup on the track, which actually changes the grip level. I raced in a Cup Series race on Wednesday night, and we raced at Gateway. And the way that the racetrack changed over the course of 110 laps was incredible. So I know it's only 50 laps, but these cars are heavy. They're running almost like street tires, if you will. So watch for that here as these races go on, as the green flag comes out. Watch for these drivers as the race goes on start looking for grip as the track starts to change and heat up. Immediately, Casey Beatty out to the front. He's got Caden Fisher right there on the back bumper. Fisher getting a little loose there. Off of turn number 2. He's going to be side by side with Eric Steele as they come down the backstretch. Casey Beatty trying to use a little bit of a serpentine, trying to keep those drivers behind him out of his draft as they come down into turns 3 and 4 for the first time. And off of turn number 4, Casey Beatty is going to have the lead. Here comes Eric Steele trying to make it 3 wide. Off of turn number 4 at the bottom. That is the 23 of Ethan Tyrell. Steele's going to take that position. He's going to look to the inside of Caden Fisher as they go down into turn number 1. Side by side for that second position as Eric Steele gets the run off the corner. He's going to get around Caden Fisher. Here comes Ethan Tyrell down on the low side. He's trying to make something happen here as well. Tyrell down to the inside of Ty Delphi as they go through turns 3 and 4. Oh, Steele gets really loose, able to hold on to it though. Chases that car down the racetrack. Here comes the 18 of Fisher back to the high side. Is almost a little touch there as they go door to door, side by side, hard racing through turns 1 and 2. While these guys battle side by side, continue to duke it out. It's allowing Casey Beatty just to pull away, as now his lead is almost a second. Ooh, almost some contact there from Tyrell into Fisher. We were watching these drivers really slide these cars around. There's an incident in the back of the field. Looks like everybody's got it all straightened out now. As Chad White's now down on pit road. Now Ethan Tyrell taking a look down underneath Eric Steele and trying to take over that second position. Come to the white flag. Ooh, some contact there with Ty Delphia. And they're going to go 3 wide off of turn at number 2. Eric Steele up on the high side. He's going to get the run off the corner. That's going to allow Ty Delphia to continue to get down underneath Caden Fisher. They go down into turns 3 and 4 for the final time. Casey Beatty way out in front. Here's the battle for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And Ethan Tyrell is going to, actually, take it back. Eric Steele's going to get the position off of turn number 4 to finish in 2nd. Ethan Tyrell 3rd, Ty Delphia 4th, Caden Fisher back in 5th. As we get all set up for our second heat race, let's take a look at the results of our first race. Casey Beatty with the win Eric Steele second, Ethan Tyrell third, Ty Delphia back and forth. Caden Fisher, Shane O'Neill, Joel Hogden, Chad White, and Kasem Hogden round out the field as we take a look at our starting grid for our second heat race, which is Jason Pelkey on pole with Aaron Redmond back in second. Logan Powers and Sean Fleury back in row number 2. Mark Baldwin, Justin Prescott row number 3. Mike Young, Kelly Miller, and Connor Ruda round out the field. As the field makes their way around and gets ready for our second heat race here tonight. As the field makes their way through turns 3 and 4. And Jason Pelkey gets ready to lead him down to the starting zone. Pace truck takes the hard left-hand turn down on the pit road. Green flag is in the air, and we are racing. Pelkey's got a great push here from Logan Powers down into turn number 1. They're on cold tires. Makes it real sketchy down through turns 1 and 2 for the first time. Down into turn at number 3, Aaron Raymond is going to have the advantage here up on the high side. He's going to pull Sean Fleury through here as well, I think. No, here goes Pelkey back on the low side with the run. Aaron Redmond able to keep that lead, and he's going to hope for the battle behind him. As you see Powers down on the apron trying to get that car to turn. One driver shooting smoke off the right rear tire. As the battle of the lead is starting to heat up between Pelkey and Raymond. Oh, some contact down into turn number 3. Pelkey going to take the lead, but here comes Raymond with a bit of a crossover. I think he liked the contact going into turn at number 3. See if he makes a little bit of a dive bomb here down into turns 1 and 2. Down on that low side, he's going to throw a little slide job here. That's going to allow Pelkey to cross him over as they come down the backstretch towards turn number 3. 4 laps to go. We see side by side still for the lead. Side by side for 3rd and 4th. Battle between Sean Fleury, Logan Powers, and Justin Prescott. Prescott using that high lane right now, trying to get around Powers. Pelkey out in front, Aaron Raymond trying to find a way back towards the bumper of the 64. Meanwhile, battle back here between Logan Powers and the 44 of Justin Prescott. Side by side again for the lead. And Raymond still out in front. Tire smoke there off the 64. Really battling there, holding on, trying to hold on to that car. So the driver stabbed the brakes, trying to get that car to rotate. Now here comes Fleury down to the inside of Pelkey, trying to take over the 2nd spot. And really got the nose there as they come down the backstretch towards turn number 3. Pelkey drives it in so hard. Sean Fleury drives it just a little bit easier. And you see the car control that Pelkey has up on that high side. He's really wheeling it, but so much smoother for Sean Fleury as he makes the move down to the inside and takes over the 2nd position as the white flag is in the air. Just one more lap to go here in our 2nd heat race. Down into turns 3 and 4. The battle for 2nd continues to heat up as Fleury has the position on the low side. He's going to take over that 2nd position, but coming down to the stripe, it will be the 88 of Aaron Redmond getting the win. Sean Fleury comes home second. Pelkey back in third. Take a look at our complete standings in our second race in just a moment. As soon as the drivers get off the racetrack. Here are your Heat 2 results. Aaron Raymond gets the win. Sean Fleury second. Jason Pelkey, Justin Prescott, Logan Powers back in fifth. Mark Baldwin sixth. Connor Ruda seventh. Kelly Miller eighth. And Mike Young round out the field as we get ready to look at our starting grid for Heat number 3. Matt Smith on pole with Peter Fisher in second. Stephen Rockford and Brandon Mayer make up row number 2. Then we'll find as Bob Eldred and Cooper Bouchard back in row 3. Scott Rockford, Bert Duffy, and Jake Grout make up the field. For our third heat of the night. Here we go, pace truck getting ready to take that hard left-hand turn. Down on the pit road, and we get heat number 3 about to get underway. Green flag is in the air as the field makes their way down to turns 1 and 2 for the first time. And Matt Smith out in front. He's getting a challenge here by Peter Fisher up on the high side. Right behind Stephen Rockford trying to make his way into this mix here as well. Rockford with the position underneath Peter Fisher. Down into turn number 3. Right behind we see Brandon Mayer and Bob Eldred battling out there as well. Oh, some contact as Fisher gets turned down into the inside wall. Bit of damage to the left front of that, the left side of that 71, all tore up. We continue on. Let's see what we see. Take a look to see exactly what happened to Fisher here. Yeah, you see the contact there and hard down into the inside wall. That's a hard hit right there. Fortunately, nobody else was collected in that one, so we're able to continue on. Of course, no cautions here in the heat races. As Matt Smith, trying to hold off Stephen Rockford right behind Bob Eldred back in the 3rd spot. Brandon Mayer runs 4th. Scott Rockford back in 5th. Jake Kraut, Bert Duffy, and Cooper Bouchard still on the racetrack. Peter Fisher has made it down to pit road, and he is out of the heat race. So with 3 laps to go, Smith now starting to pull away from Rockford just a little bit. Get that fixed here. Sometimes that happens with these heat races. We see Smith still out front. Steve Rockford trying to run him down here as the white flag is now in the air. 1 lap to go. Saw Grout try to get a little bit of a run here on Scott Rockford on this final lap. They come down the backstretch for the final time. Down into turn number 3, Matt Smith with a half-second lead. You see Scott Rockford as Bob Eldridge trying to make a final run here as they come off of turn number 4 and down to the stripe. And Matt Smith is going to win our 3rd heat race of the night. Just going to do a little drift action down through turns 1 and 2. Let's take a look at our starting grid. So we can take a look at our results from heat number 3. Matt Smith got the win. Steve Rockford second. Bob Eldred back in third. Brandon Mayer, Scott Rockford, Jake Grout, Cooper Bouchard, Bert Duffy, and Peter Fisher round out the field in our 3rd heat race, which brings us to our starting grid with Casey Beatty on pole. Aaron Redmond will start from position number 2. Back in row 2, we'll find Matt Smith and Eric Steele, followed by Nick Fleury and Stephen Rockford back in row number 3. Ethan Tyrell and Jason Pelkey make up row 4 with Bob Eldred and Ty Delphia rounding out your top 10. Justin Prescott rolls off 11th with Brandon Mayer back in 12th. 13th is Caden Fisher and Logan Powers back in 14th. 15th, Scott Rockford and Shane O'Neill, followed by Mark Baldwin and Jake Grout back in row 9. Row 10, Josh Baldwin and Connor Ruda. Cooper Bouchard and Joel Hogden round out row number 11 with Kelly Miller and Bert Duffy starting in row number 12. Row 13 is Chad White and Mike Young, followed by Peter Fisher and Kason Hogden. And that's going to round out our qualifying, or our grid here tonight as we get ready for 50 laps around New Hampshire Motor Speedway. As the field of 27 cars make their way down the backstretch. You see a couple drivers taking EOL here to start the race. Looks like Justin Prescott and Stephen Rockford go into the back of the field. I believe that was for some issues that happened last week's race. You see Rockford and Prescott here in the back. So here we go, field making their way back down the backstretch. Don't forget, we've got the chat line open, whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, or on Twitch. Go ahead and reach out. Let us know who you're pulling for here tonight. Let us know who you think's going to win here tonight. I already see a couple comments in here. Somebody win on the 31 of Fleury. Field makes their way off of turn number 4. Green flag is in the air. And we are racing here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. And Casey Beatty trying to get out to an early lead here as we see the 04 of Matt Smith. Take a look down to the 88 of Aaron Redmond as they go through turns 1 and 2 for the first time. Down the backstretch they come, side by side. Beatty continues to run that little serpentine down the backstretch, trying to break the draft and keep those drivers behind him. Not too far behind, you see Eric Steele falling back a little bit. He's got Pelkey now looking down underneath as the battle for second place is starting to heat back up between Matt Smith and Aaron Raymond, excuse me. Smith's going to pull a slide job here, putting Raymond behind. Now the battle here is Fleury now works his way past Eric Steele. And Pelkey taking a look down to the inside of Fleury, not quite close enough to make that move yet. we saw just how much these drivers were slipping and sliding around in heat races, and those are only 8 laps long. Now we've got a 50-lap race. Just watch how much these drivers will be slip sliding as the race goes on. A little battle back here. Logan Powers trying to make his way through the field, already up one position, trying to take a look down to the inside of the 33 of Brandon Mayer. And Powers is going to pick up another spot here and move himself up into the 12th position. See the 88 of Aaron Raymond right there on the back bumper of Matt Smith. Take a look off the back bumper of Smith as we go down to the turn number 1. And caution is out for the first time. Looks like it was for, could have been for Mike Young. Just gonna bring up a wreckage rewind as we take a look to see what happened. So some issues here. Mike Young gets a little high off the corner, makes some contact with the outside wall, tries to hold on to it. Hits the inside wall, and looks like the motor's gone on that vehicle. He's just going to try to get down and out of the way, and that's what brought out our caution. Here we go in the chat. Also see, let's go Brandon Mayer. So another shout out there for the 33 of Brandon Mayer. Currently being scored back in the 12th position. Also see a shout out there for Connor Ruda. Connor currently sitting back in the 16th position. He's made up 4 spots since the drop of the green flag. See if he continues his march forward through the field. As the field starts to get side by side, getting ready for the restart, Casey Beatty is going to choose the inside lane, putting Matt Smith up on the high side. Then row 2 will be Aaron Raymond and Sean Fleury to his outside. So here we go. As the field makes their way through turns 3 and 4. Pace truck getting ready to take that hard left-hand turn down on pit road. Green flag is back in the air. We are back racing. A big jump for Casey Beatty. Catches the field sleeping as he gets out in front of the 04 by about 0.3 of a second. Aaron Raymond trying to do everything he can on the low side, trying to get around Fleury. Fleury, gets loose, catches the wall. So does the 23 of Ethan Tyrell right behind him. He's got to allow Pelkey to make the move down into turn number 3. Doesn't look like too much damage. Excuse me, to the 31. See, just a little bit of a crinkle on that rear quarter panel. I don't think it's going to be enough to hurt the handling of that 31. I don't even think it's going to be enough to hurt the aerodynamics. As a battle for the lead is already shaping up as Beatty has a mirror full of Matt Smith down into turn at number 3. Turn number 4, Smith, and here comes Aaron Raymond. Make a look down to the inside of Matt Smith. As they go side by side for the second position, that's exactly what Beatti wants to see, is side by side racing behind him. That'll allow him to pull away just a little bit. Issues for Bert Duffy, who's down in John Deere country on the backstretch. A lot of damage to the left side of that 74. As now the yellow flag's coming out. It looks like that's for a different issue now. Oh yeah, we got one car around. It looks like Eric Steele turned around in turn number 1. So it's like 2 totally separate incidents here. We'll start with seeing what happened to the 74. Just got, looks like he might have had a little netcode issue because you see off the corner there doing some contact. Oh, with the 16, and then connection issues put him down into the inside wall. Right after that happened, we see the contact here. Eric Steele, and oof, that is the 77 of Scott Rockford. A lot of damage to that 32 machine. And quite a few drivers coming down pit road. Bert Duffy coming down pit road, obviously with damage to 77. The 33 also coming down pit road. Of course, all these drivers could come down and pit and it not affect them too much because caution laps do not count here in the INSS. So it looks like Brandon Mayer just getting some fuel in his car. As Beatti comes by and the lights on the pace car shut off. So we're going to set ourselves up with 1 lap to go before we go back green flag racing. So here we go, pace car getting ready to take that hard left-hand turn down onto pit road. We know from last time it sees that pace truck pulls below the yellow line. Beatti's going to be on the throttle. There he is again, green flag in the air. This field races down towards turn number 1. Great side-by-side racing. Ooh, look at Fisher there in the 18. Caden Fisher getting a run, almost runs into the back of the 30. Now he's going to look down underneath the 31 as they come down the backstretch, 3 wide. Down into turn at number 3. Flurry of the meat and the sandwich. There's a little contact between him and Fisher. Fisher's going to have to give that spot up. He's going to lose a little bit of momentum here. As now he's going to have the 23 of Ethan Tyrell looking up to his outside. Meanwhile, this battle continues between Aaron Raymond and Matt Smith for the second position. Smith with a bit of a crossover off the turn number 2 down the backstretch towards turn 3. These two battling side by side is exactly what Casey Beatti wants to see. We work lap number 9 of 50. Down off of turn number 4, down the backstretch. You can ride along here with Raymond. Watch him work the wheel here. Just how much these drivers are really working that steering wheel through the corners. Great view. Counter steal off the corner, trying to hold on to that car. As Smith makes the move, now Sean Fleury taking a look down to the inside. Fleury's going to tuck back in line currently, and we have caution on the racetrack. And it looks like it might be for Cooper Bouchard, who's stuffed it down into the inside wall on the front stretch. I'll bring up another wreckage rewind. Oh. I'll rewind this one a little bit. Oh, okay, so that makes a little bit more sense. Gets a little contact there and trying to hold on to it. Does a bit of a tank slap there and comes back across the track into the outside wall right in front of the 66 of Rockford. Tries to get that car fired back up. So a lot of damage to the 07 on the scoring, but the 48 on the car here. And these drivers do not run resets. So you see these drivers who are still on pit road. These are drivers who have gotten a lot of damage and have either retired from the race or still trying to get those cars fixed up the best they can. Next week, Atman Weiss will have the call here on Intensity Broadcasting as we move on to Five Flags Speedway. Then I'll have the call the following week as everybody takes on Eldora Speedway. And we'll have the week, what's that called? Christmas Eve. Couldn't think of the holiday. Have Christmas Eve off. We'll return back racing on New Year's Eve at Iowa. Then we'll finish out the season, Slinger, Kern County, and Lucas Oil. So the field's going to re-rack, restack, and get ready to refire. Casey Beatti again is your leader. He's got Matt Smith to the outside. Then Aaron Raymond and Sean Fleury back in row number 2. Field makes their way off of turn number 4. Green flags back in the air. And we are back racing as Beatti gets another great jump down into turn number 1. As they go 3 wide for second place. We see Kaden Fisher making a big move down to the inside. Gets down to the inside of Aaron. It's a drag race down towards turn number 3. Fisher going to have that inside advantage. But he's going to be able to make it stick right behind. We see a battle between Sean Fleury and Ethan Tyrell. a side-by-side down into turn number 1. Again, Beatti loving seeing this in the mirror. As the more this battling goes on, the more that Beatti's going to be able to pull away. Take a look off the back bumper of Beatti. Half the battle behind. This time Fisher's got a little bit of an advantage down into turn number 3. He's going to be able to clear Raymond down into turn number 3, and now Raymond's got a battle with the 04 of Matt Smith. And right behind him, we see this gaggle of cars back here as they're going 3 wide down into turn number 1. Great look here from the iRacing blimp. Right behind we see the 44 of Justin Prescott trying to make his way in the mix, and Logan Powers just hanging outside the top 10 right now, trying to drive his way back through the field, battling with Ty Delfio, Justin Prescott, Jason Pelkey, who was so fast early, now finds himself back here in the mix in the Hornet's Nest right now. Raymond has Matt Smith right behind. Trying to get to that back bumper, trying to loosen that 88 up. See if he can try to make a run at it here to get himself up on the podium. Still a lot of racing to go. Take a look at the weather here, and you see the track temperature now 117 degrees. As the 04 of Smith makes a move down to the inside of Aaron Raymond. So 117 track temperature. That is a pretty hot and slick track on this old worn out racing surface. And that's what makes racing here at New Hampshire Speedway so difficult, is the old racing surface, very abrasive on these tires. Very susceptible to change. That's why you're starting to see drivers slip sliding around. Ooh, a little contact there. Ooh, more contact. That Smith was trying to loosen up that 88, trying to get by him. But Aaron Raymond able to stay out in front, as now Matt Smith getting a little challenge here from the 31 of Sean Fleury. Oh, contact behind him. He's got Prescott. Make a little contact there with Pelkey. He's going to lose a few positions here. As Ty Delfio drives around the outside. And Logan Powers is now driven up to the 8th position around Pelkey. And Ethan Tyrell trying to make a move here on the 13 of Bob Eldred. Ooh, contact is more contact. We stay green. Look to wait for just a second. Oh, Lawrenson's in the back here. As we see Peter Fisher, who's back out on the racetrack. I think he was just involved in this one as well. We stay green, but we've got a battle for the up front for the lead. As Caden Fisher has run down Casey Beatty, and they go side by side for the lead. Beatty gets the run off the high side, continues to try to hold on to that top spot, keep it away from Fisher. Fisher now drives it down to the bottom of the racetrack. They come side by side off of turn number 4, the drag race down to the line. Here continues. Great battle for the top spot. Casey Beatty still working that high lane, using that higher lane, a longer way around, but a little bit more banking. At the very, very bottom of the track, down where that yellow line is, there's only 2 degrees of banking. All the way up at the wall, there's 7 degrees of banking, so there's your progressive banking. So that high lane does have a little bit of an advantage with the banking, but the low lane always is the shorter way around. That's why you see this great battle, but it looks like Beatty's finally going to give up that top spot, and Caden Fisher is going to take the lead on lap number 25. We now have 25 laps to go, and Beatty takes a look back down to the inside of Fisher. Tries to rough him up a little bit. Look at this door-to-door action as they come off of turn number 2. They're continuing to stay door-to-door. Great action here from New Hampshire as these drivers have enough room for a piece of paper between them. It looks like, ooh, a little contact there as Beatty gets a little loose. Allows Fisher to pull back ahead, but Beatty gonna try to outbreak him down into turn number 1. While these two continue to battle side by side, lurking in the wings, here comes the 88 of Aaron Raymond, making his way back up towards these two. This is what Raymond wants to see, is these two battling side by side. That's going to allow them to burn up their tires a little bit quicker than that 88 is. As now Beatty runs a little slide job here to take the lead back over. And Fisher trying to cross him over down the backstretch. Fisher back out in front. Here comes Raymond into the mix. He is there to join this battle. And our top 3 have a 1-second lead over 4th place Matt Smith. Look at the patience that Raymond has right now. He sees these two battling side by side. Not making any stupid moves here, just trying to kind of hang back, hoping these two make a mistake. He's able to get by both of them. Gives a little help to Fisher down into turn number 3. Down to the inside of Beatty. There's going to be a lap car right here as well. As you see the 74 of Bert Duffy right in front of our leaders. As Raymond now gets to the back bumper of Fisher. Is this lap car going to play a little bit of a, no, he's going to move down and out of the way. But Raymond's still going to get the advantage down into turn at number 3 as they go side by side for the lead. Fisher wheeling that car. Now while this battle's going on, Matt Smith is running down this group. Oh, some contact there between Fisher and Raymond. Down into turn at number 4, Fisher, more contact, oh! Into the outside wall, both Raymond and Fisher go. Caution is out. That's going to bring up another wreckage rewind for our 3rd incident of the night. Coming down into turn number 3. It looks like Fisher got a little loose there. Was expecting Raymond to be just a little bit lower. Fortunately for them, both of them go hard into the outside wall. Actually, Fisher got the worst of that outside wall. Raymond should be able to continue. Doesn't look like he's got too much damage. But this is also going to bring the entire field down pit road, as it looks like they're all going to get tires and fuel here. With the magic of iRacing here, we'll be able to watch the race off of pit road. Looks like Beatty's going to get off pit road first. Smith, the 13 of Eldred, gets off pit road next. Looks like maybe a 2-tire stop for those drivers. Logan Powers off. Justin Prescott, Fleury, Ty Delphia, Pelkey. Yeah, looks like a bunch of drivers gaining a few positions here on pit road. So looking at the pit stop times, Casey Beatty was on pit road, or he was stationary for 13.2 seconds. Matt Smith, 12.57. Bob Eldridge back 14.47. Then Logan Powers, 20 seconds. So Logan Powers back and forth is the first car that's going to have 4 fresh tires. Our first 3 drivers will be out there on just 2. Again, we want to thank everybody for joining us here tonight, whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch, or over on Kick. Don't forget to hit that like button, follow, and subscribe. And hit that little notification bell so you know anytime we go live here on Intensity Broadcast. Of course, we'll be here with the INSS all season long. Atlee Atman-Reese will have the call next week. We have our truck doubleheader closing out this week as the Doghouse Racing League will be having their season finale at Homestead, Miami this week. And then Thursday night we'll have the Thunderstruck Series. And of course here on Sunday night, the INSS for the rest of the season. Back in the air. We have just 17 laps to go when they come across the stripe here. Beatty back out in front. Eldred now up into the top three. Trying to hold on to that second spot as he works out underneath Matt Smith. Here comes Logan Powers on those 4 fresh tires up on the high side. He's going to give a push here to Smith down the backstretch and into turn number 3. Still trying to get that push there from Powers down into turn number 1. Casey Beatty, though, out in front by almost a half second as the battles go on behind him. Ooh, almost some contact there between Eldred and Smith. As Prescott now takes a look down to the inside of Logan Powers. And here's Jason Pelkey, Jason Pelkey back there making a move down to the inside of Ty Delphia. In the chat we see, look out for that old washed up Matthew Smith to steal this baby. Right now Smith side by side, door to door with Bob Eldred. Justin Prescott coming down to give Eldred a little bit of a push here down into turn number 3. And we're seeing this draft come into play here. Just like you would see when the modifieds run here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Ooh, big wiggle for the 13 of Ty Delphia. He gets out of shape behind. Eldred has lost his help down on the low side. Prescott's fallen back a little bit. Matt Smith trying to get some help now from Logan Powers. As Powers continues to work that high lane. Trying to help Matt Smith move forward, and while this battle is continuing, Casey Beatty continues just to run away with it. Side-by-side action all through the front of the track, including the 88 of Aaron Raymond, who was involved in that last incident, battling side-by-side with Stephen Rockford. And Raymond trying to get his way back up towards the front here. While the battle continues up front. Prescott thought about making a move down underneath of Eldred. Thought better of it. He tucks back in line. As Z Powers giving the bump draft, giving the big shove to Smith down into turn number 3. Casey Beatty's lead is now almost a full second. Ooh, big slide out of Eldred. It's going to allow Matt Smith to get the advantage here down into turn number 1. As those two cars lean on each other through the corner. Big slide out of Smith. That's going to give the advantage to Eldred, who's going to be able to pull right in front of the 04 of Smith. And now Prescott thinking about making a move down underneath the 13 machine. We have just 10 laps to go. Ooh, contact as Smith gets up into the outside wall. No harm, no foul, though. He continues on. Prescott continuing out in front. Now Prescott to the inside, trying to take over that third position. Looks like the tires are really starting to go away on the 04 Smith. Meanwhile, while this is going on, Eldred's starting to pull away. Oh, Prescott got a little really loose down on the low side. He'll hold on to it, though, and actually make some forward progress on that as he's still trying to get around Smith. More smoke, more contact, more battling going on. As now Smith is going to clear the 44 of Prescott. And he's going to take a look down to the inside of Eldred to try to take over that second position. Prescott giving the shove down the backstretch. He's trying to get by in this mix here as well. He just worked his way around the 18 of Caden Fisher, who was a few laps down after that hard contact with the outside wall earlier. Smith really loose down on the low side. Car really rotating well for him, almost a little too well. As Prescott's right there on the back bumper, trying to go a big shove down the straightaway. He's going to clear Eldridge off of turn number 2. Now let's see if he can set his sights to try to chase down Casey Beatty, who has a 1.3 second lead. And we are coming to 5 laps to go. Ooh, contact behind Eldred and Justin Prescott. Smith completely clear now as Prescott trying to take a move down underneath Eldred to take over that third spot. It's going to currently hold on to that spot with 4 laps to go. But don't count out Logan Powers or even Aaron Redmond just a little further back. With 4 laps to go, anything can happen. We still have the opportunity and chance for a couple green-white checkers here as well. To go is Smith starting to run down Beatty, but a little too little too late here in the closing laps. Unless we were to get ourselves a caution here. Oh, some contact there between Powers and the 13 of Eldred. That was almost the caution right there, but everybody was able to keep it straight. Now Powers down on the low side, trying to take over that 5th position. here underneath Philadelphia by Aaron Raymond. Now he's going to force a 3 wide down the backstretch towards turn number 3. Raymond trying to get 2 for 1 here on Logan Powers and Philadelphia. Ooh, contact there between Powers and Raymond, but final lap, white flag is in the air. Casey Beatty out front by about a second now. Matt Smith has a mirror full of Justin Prescott. Oh, hard contacts here. Rockford trying to get it all. Gets into the outside wall off of turn number 2. As they come down across the stripe for the final time, Casey Beatty is going to win here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. In almost dominating fashion, Beatty gets the win. He's going to try to celebrate and slide this thing all the way around the track. He'll come right down to the front stretch and burn him down. What a celebration by Casey Beatty. Getting the win here tonight at New Hampshire. So we take a look at the rest of our results. Casey Beatty with the win. Matt Smith comes home second. Justin Prescott back in third. Stephen Rockford and Logan Powers round out your top 5. Then Bob Eldred back in 6th, Ethan Tyrell 7th, Aaron Raymond, Shane O'Neill, and Chad White round out your top 10. Sean Fleury brings home 11th with Mark Baldwin back in 12th, Jason Pelkey back in 13th, Brandon Mayer and Ty Delphia your top 15. 16th was Kelly Miller with Connor Ruda back in 17th, Josh Baldwin in the 18th position. 19th was Jake Grout and Scott Rockford back in 21st, or 20th, excuse me. Kane Fisher finishes 21st. Joel Hogden back in 22nd. Bert Duffy 23rd. Cooper Bouchard back in 24th, and Peter Fisher 25th. Then Mike Young, Eric Steele, and Kaysen Hogden round out the rest of the field here tonight at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. As we get ready to talk to our top 3. Starting with our 3rd place finisher. Just wait for them to jump down into the waiting room here. Might have to jump up and do a group interview because I don't think they're coming down into the waiting room.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah. I think I wasn't paying attention if the front guys did, but the cars. I mean, it was cars fell off before we came in and took tires there, and it was a relief to finally get some new sneakers. But I was had to be patient. I got put on probation for being a bad boy last week, so I I was just trying to take what was. And I had to come from the back, but got to thank Logan and the guys for everything they do, and you guys for putting this on. Appreciate it all.
Yeah, I fortunately wasn't here to see that. I did see the Discord, so I kind of know what went on. But did that actually kind of change the way you drive tonight, knowing that you were on probation? I know it's not the best of things to happen, but does that change the way you have to drive here tonight?
No, I mean, I was joking when I said that. I got a lot of respect for everybody in this crowd. A bunch of us all race together in real life and pretty much know everybody in here. So, we're just here having some fun in the off season. And I try to treat it like it's like it is real life, and try to give breaks and basically if I got to go fix the car at the end of the night, drive with that mentality as it is. So and I think we got a pretty good group of guys that kind of have the same mentality, which puts on good racing.
Yeah, awesome race here tonight. Before we let you go, Justin, anyone who want to thank, any shots you got to give here tonight?
Again, Streeter Concrete for being the title sponsor for the series, and gosscars.com, NHMS, all my real life sponsors that support me and let me live this crazy dream that we get to call driving race cars. So appreciate it.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congrats on the podium here tonight, and good luck next week. And we'll see you in a couple weeks.
Sounds good. Take care.
So that was your third place finisher, Justin Prescott. Let's talk to our second place finisher, Matt Smith. Matt, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got a copy.
Man, great run for you here tonight. Fast all night long. Kind of in the mix. Kind of had a first-hand or great view of the incident that happened out in front. But talk us through your race and what strategies you had going on in this long, crazy race here tonight.
Man, I just wanted to finish one. I feel like I'm always up front, kind of in contention, and then towards the end, something either happens or I do something dumb. So it was just kind of, manage my own race. And I know I didn't have anything for Casey, and when Caden was up there, I didn't really have anything for Caden. When those two were racing pretty hard, I knew I had something for Aaron. So if something happened with them, I knew I was just racing there with Aaron. And we raced pretty hard in the beginning, so I burnt the right rear off pretty quick. When they all started coming back to us, that's pretty much all I had. Caught the caution, luckily. Was glad to put on new tires, just like Justin said. And I took two because I figured that's what Casey was going to do. And I figured more people out back were going to take two. I didn't think the people starting directly behind us in fifth and sixth, I think it was there, had a four. So at that point, it was just defense. Casey, I knew was going to drive away with it. And I knew I had to battle with Justin and Logan and all of them were coming up right behind us. So it was just defense from there on out. And that's really how I had to drive it.
So I want to call out the shout out that you had in our chat here tonight. Towards the end of the race, it said, "Look out for that old wash up Matt Smith to steal this baby." So did you you said you didn't feel like you had a chance there at the end, but were you kind of hoping that maybe Casey and would get it caught up in some lap traffic and let you reel him back in?
Yeah, that's probably came from Marcel there. He likes to rag on me whenever he can. He just hates it that I'm not there to beat him up on the racetrack in real life and be able to race door to door. So it's a good time. I'm glad that there's some commentary back and forth in the chat. It was racing, watching Caden and Casey race. I mean, it gave me a little bit of hope. I thought I was doing a better job managing my stuff than Aaron. He ran them down a little bit quicker than I did. It took me a little bit longer to finally get up to them, but once I did get up to them, I realized we were all pretty even at that point, and there wasn't really much we were going to do. And I knew it was going to come down to if there's a caution and if all four of us were still in it, what we were going to do for pit strategy. And then from there on out, it was going to be a dash to the finish. And, Aaron and Caden got together, and then it just came down to me and Casey, and I figured that was going to be the battle. And then obviously tire strategy played a role. And like I said earlier, it was just defense from that green on.
Well, again, awesome job coming home in second place tonight. Matt, anyone you want to thank? Any shots you got to give before I let you go?
Streeter Concrete for coming on board and sponsoring this and helping Logan be able to put this out. It gives us all a lot of something to do just to kind of pass the off-season blues. got to thank Logan for being able to put this on, and then obviously you guys for coming out and broadcasting it and putting it on Facebook and YouTube. That's pretty big to be able to watch people, or to let people be able to watch us throughout the off season.
Don't forget we're on Twitch and Kick too, so you can watch us pretty much anywhere. But appreciate the shout out there, and yeah, good luck next week. And I'll be back in 2 weeks to call the race on dirt. So looking forward to seeing that one. So again, congrats and good luck next week.
Thank you, Josh.
Have a great one. So that was your second place finisher, Matt Smith. Let's bring in your winner here tonight and dominating performance by Casey Beatty. Casey, you got Josh up in the booth. You got me?
Yes, sir.
Man, what a run here. You had a little bit of, it seemed like you'd pull away and then they'd all run you down. Then the caution would come out. You'd be able to kind of reset and get back out in front. Was the way the cautions kind of felt today, did that kind of really help your race and strategy-wise, or did you feel that made it hurt you a little bit?
It definitely hurt me a little bit. I know early in the race I pulled about the 7, 8, 10th lead and was kind of out of that drafting zone, and then the yellow came out, so had to re-rack him and then push the car a little harder to try and get away. And just every time I was just pushing a little too much to try and get a gap on the field, and it really hurt me there on that big long green flag run when Caden and Aaron got to me, and those guys had a little more tire than I had left, and I thought I was saving a little more than I was, and I just got super free there, and I was lucky enough, and honestly tonight I got lucky. I'd rather be lucky than good any day of the week, so I was fortunate enough that two up front of me had a mishap, and mistakes happen, and I was just lucky enough to capitalize on it.
So I noticed the strategy there on that final pit stop, or the pit stop, was you took 2 and a bunch of drivers behind you took 4. When you saw the drivers on 4 that close to you guys up front, did that worry you at all? Did you have concerns about that?
Not really. All the boys at RKM Setup Shop have done a lot of testing throughout the last years that it's been open, and for some reason on iRacing, two tires actually helps on a probably 30 to 40, 50 lap run. So when you're looking in those closing laps within 50 to go, 2 tires honestly really helps. 4 tires doesn't make a difference until you get out of that 50 lap run. So the last couple weeks when we've had runs that are shorter than that, of looking at it, like taking 2 tires really helps.
Well, again, great run in dominating fashion. I do see here in the chat says the 45 has the best spotter in the Northeast. So not sure who that was. It just says iRacer17 on YouTube. So you can take your guess at who that one was. But again, Casey, congratulations on the win. Hard fought win here tonight. And before we let you go, anyone want to thank any shots you got to give here tonight?
I want to thank you for streaming it, Streeter Concrete for coming on this year, Logan Powers for putting this on, Creative Counters, Lions Excavating Consulting, 17 Media, Alex Gratz for spotting for me tonight. Who's really keeping me cool down there when we were racing really hard. And yeah, that's about it.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congrats on the win. Good luck next week. Atlee will have the call for that, but I'll be back here for Eldora, so looking forward to watching y'all run on dirt. So have yourself a great night, and again, congratulations.
Thank you, and you too.
So there you have it, your winner here tonight, Casey Beatty. That's going to do it for us here tonight on Intensity Broadcasting. Don't forget to tune in Tuesday night for our truck doubleheader, as the Doghouse Racing League finishes up their season at Homestead, Miami, and the SCSRA finishes up their regular season, and that is also going to be at Homestead, Miami. So a Homestead, Miami doubleheader next week. You're not going to want to miss that. But that's going to do it for us here tonight. Don't forget to hit that like button, follow, and subscribe. Don't forget to check out our great partners down below, including the Butt Kicker for all your iRacing and gaming haptic needs, Race API for all your iRacing setups and coaching needs. Check out our web store for all our swag and Atlee Atman Weiss's race swag as well. Of course, we can't forget about our sponsor, Streeter Concrete. Streeter Concrete is based out of Waitsfield, Vermont, 802-793-6793. Get a load of us. So check them out as well. And that's going to do it for us here tonight. Again, we want to thank everyone for joining us. And as our boy Atlee Atman Weiss would say, over and out.